All right, welcome back. Hope you are having a great Tuesday. We've got another testimony for you from one of our students here at the ranch, one of our Nuevo Rancheros, as we like to say, Shelby. So, Shelby, thanks for being with us today on AZ Gives Day, sharing a testimony of what God's doing in your life with the good folks out there on the interwebs. So take us back in time, maybe say about, a year ago. What was life looking like for you at that point in time?
Life was pretty bleak, I would say. I was pretty much hopeless, just kind of running amok in the streets, doing drugs, doing my own thing. Didn't really care about anybody but myself. I would just say it was hopeless.
Okay. So what are some of the effects that you found addiction having on your life?
It made me a bad father, a bad son, bad member of society. Honestly, it really just sucked away any life in me whatsoever.
So who was maybe the person, or it could have been several people, that kind of put the idea out there to, hey, I know of a place called Teen Challenge and I think it could help?
Well, it's kind of a long story, but I'll try to make it short. I kept getting arrested and going to jail. My mom wanted me to go to rehab. My mom is a woman of great faith, and she kept praying for me to get arrested. Thanks, Mom. But so I kept getting
arrested. Heard that story before. You're not the first.
I kept getting arrested, going to jail. And then the last time I got arrested, I'm so done with this. God help me. And she told me about Teen Challenge. She had heard about it from a friend of hers, and the rest is history.
Wow, very cool. Well, we always used to say when I was going through the program that everybody that walks through those gates is the results of a praying mother. And I know it's definitely true for myself. So how long were you struggling with addiction until you ended up coming into the program, would you say?
Oh, man, that's probably 18 years, I would say.
18 years, wow, yeah. Man, it's a long time. There's a lot to unpack there, but during maybe those first couple weeks in Teen Challenge, what was kind of the process like? What did you feel like God was telling you, or were you still just wanting to leave?
I wanted to leave, but God was telling me to stick it out, and so I was, for the first time in my life, I was being obedient to God's will.
Okay, so obviously you made it through induction. It was down at Tucson, right? All right, Tucson. There you go. Shout out. Tucson. And now you're up here at the ranch. What do you feel like are some of the strongholds that God's breaking down in your life during the time you've been in the program so far?
Oh, just compulsive behavior, depression, isolation, things like that have really been working on me.
What is some hope or advice that you would share to somebody who's out there watching that would be struggling, or maybe has a friend or a family member who's struggling with addiction?
My advice would be, if you're struggling with addiction, to get on your knees and pray, and just be ready to submit to God's will in your life. And if you need a place to do it, Teen Challenge would be a great place to try.
Well, thanks for spending some time with us and sharing some of what God's put on your heart. Is there a verse that you feel like God's really given you as something to hold on to during this time?
I like Proverbs 26:11. As a dog returns to his vomit, so a fool returns to his folly.
That's a good one. It's so true that as humans, we tend to really want to do things on our own, but it never really works out that way. As Paul says, his power is perfected in weakness. And so when we realize that we are weak without him, then we are able to be strong. Well, thank you for taking the time to stop in and share your story with us. And thank you for watching. Be sure, if you have some time and if God so leads you, to check out the link in the description or go to www.azgives.org/TCAZ to make a charitable contribution to the Christian Life Ranch. We greatly appreciate it. We'll be back here in another hour to share another testimony of God's power with you. Thank you so much.
My name's Santiago. I'm 33 years old. My addiction started shortly after I turned 24 years old, after my dad lost his life. It progressed turned into fentanyl use. I did come into the program in 2019 and left 6 months into it, but things got really out of hand after I walked away from what God was doing in my life. Decided to come back into Teen Challenge 6 months ago, where God has been doing a really good work in my life. Been restoring me mentally, spiritually, restoring my relationship with my daughter and my family, my loved ones. So I'm really grateful for what the Lord has accomplished in this season of Teen Challenge. Please support the Christian Life Ranch for Arizona Gives Day by making a charitable contribution by clicking the link below.